Welcome back. Oftentimes, the aftermath of crisis in any society is always a permanent one, as a tale of such occurrence would continue to linger on the minds of the people, especially those who were directly affected. It seems to be the experience of residents of Pt.3 and Ashipa communities in Ife North local government area of Osun State, who recently clashed over land disputes over land, destroying thousands of property and displacing some residents. Our next report looks at how life is gradually returning to normal after the almost war situation between both communities.
Now you're talking.
This is Pt.3 town in Ife North local government area in Osun State. Life seems to be going on like every normal town, but this could not be said some few weeks back as the town was deserted following the clash between the people of Pt.3 and its neighboring community Ashipa over land boundary and clash on the market days of both communities.
There have been incessant harassment by Ashipa people on this land, driving the owners, the original owners of this land, driving them forcefully. Now, the family of the present Kabiyesi, that is Asadu family, they have now gone to court in respect of that parcel of land. So that one is sub judice. Until the High Court gives judgment, nobody can say he's the owner of that land.
It's the boundary problem that started it. What the additional problem he created was that he said he wanted to destroy our market here. The market was established in 1944, even before the birth of many of us. And just of recent, about 2 years ago, it just go to, even on the land we are fighting for, it just clear a place and said he established a market there and making it the same day here.
In the midst of trading blames, things got out of hand as youths from both towns engaged in property destruction, leading to many people being injured, vehicles destroyed, several houses and stalls being razed down, including this hostel, owned by the traditional ruler of Pt.3, but occupied by students of Obafemi Awolowo University pre-degree programs. For now, just say that you should just help us and they should help the society, because the people, we students staying around here are not safe, but they should just try and assist us so that there should be more security around this community. Security personnel had to be deployed, but at this time, many had left their homes. Schools, banks and shops were under lock and key as both towns were still spoiling for war until Governor Rauf Aregbesola had a peace meeting with the two traditional rulers of the communities.
I've told my people to see their sword. I don't want any trouble because there will be no development in any place where there is trouble. I'm still begging the people in Ashipa that as we have stopped in the Pt.3, there's also a stop, because there are still rumors and action being taken by them, damaging our farm after the governor had left.
What we want is that with the intervention of the governor, we want the governor to use the government power to ask Pt.3 to give peace. And how you can give peace is to change the market day of Akeola from that of Ashipa. And then for the government to expedite action with the committee that government choose.
The visit of the governor to Pt.3 and Ashipa to see the extent of damage caused by the inauguration of a peace committee has further affirmed the need for peace. Residents who had earlier fled are beginning to return home as life is gradually picking up. However, the market controversy seems not to be over yet.
We cannot change the date because before we established that new market, we went through Oreku traditionally. And that is why Oreku told us to establish the market. We cannot change it on our own. That's what traditionally, that's what we do. So we can't change the date.
Although sanity seems to have returned to these two communities, the need to resolve the market day issue remains paramount, as this may incite another round of clash.
Etisala, now you're talking.
Honeywell Oil and Gas Limited has unveiled its first synthetic lubricant, Synlube 5W40, for diesel and gasoline engines. At the first public presentation, the managing director of the company, Mr. Sikiru Rufai, says the lube has been designed to minimize deposits in engines.
Looking at the makeup of this room, it's not difficult to tell what the agenda could be. Honeywell Oil and Gas is delivering on this occasion a cutting-edge technology-driven product for modern vehicles, turbocharged and direct injector gasoline or diesel engines. A little more information about the latest synthetic lubrication from the stable of Honeywell Oil and Gas.
Our synthetic oil, Honeywell Synlube 5W40 API SNCL, is carefully selected and it is 5W40, giving you coverage from -30 degrees centigrade way down to 50 degrees centigrade. Our oil has been carefully selected to cover a wide range of temperature.
And now to the moment everyone has been waiting for, the unveiling of Honeywell's Synlube 40.
Any of the products that we use in our auto company has delivered.
This is the first time we're introducing synthetic lubricant into the market. Synthetic lubricant is the future of lubricants in the world. It is of the API grade SN, which was introduced globally in 2010. And no new one has come in since that time. So it is the most current.
Synlube 5W40 is well fortified with enough additives that will give you a high total base number, that is TBN. It ensures that whatever sludge is formed in the engine of the car is maintained in suspension. It is never deposited. So whenever you are servicing your car, if you use Synlube 5W40, you see that your oil filter will be very clean, because you don't have deposits forming in the engine. You have to drive the car for over 15,000 kilometers before you think of your next service. You don't have to drain the oil. Synlube 5W40 is carefully selected to match the temperature, the weather conditions in the tropics. So it can work up to 50 degrees centigrade ambient, and it can work as low as -30 degrees centigrade ambient.
According to the management, Honeywell Synlube premium benefits include enhanced engine performance, prolonged engine lifespan, reduced fuel consumption, comes in a 5-liter pack, and best price in the range of synthetic oils.
First Bank.
Welcome to Business News. We begin at the currency market. The Naira recovered from a record low against the dollar today, boosted by sales of the greenback by the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, the NNPC. Dealers say Nigeria's state-run oil firm sold about $350 million to lenders, strengthening the currency to 186 Naira to the dollar against Tuesday's record low of 192 Naira 10 kobo. The NNPC, which accounts for the bulk of hard currency traded on the interbank market, sells dollars every month to buy Naira for its local operations. Nigerian Brewery's 18 billion Naira production plant has been opened for business in Aba, Abia State. The plant, which was commissioned by the Minister for Industry, Trade and Investment, is seen as a milestone in the government's plans for industrial revolution.
To the glory of Nigeria, to the glory of Abia State, to the glory of Aba, to the glory of Almighty God. Amen.
The ultra-modern upgraded Aba Brewery opens for a larger scale of production of canned and bottled drinks from the Nigerian brewery stable. The move to upgrade this facility began in 2012 and completed in 2014 at a cost of 18 billion naira. The facility can now double the capacity of production to 2.4 million hectoliters per annum, as against an initial installed capacity of 500,000 hectoliters per annum, which later increased to 1.2 hectoliters per annum. For the Minister of Trade and Investment, Olusegun Aganga, the company has demonstrated a resolve to continue to support development in Nigeria.
It is projects like this one, the one we are launching today, that show investors believe in our country and also show that this administration is best prepared to take Nigeria into the future.
With new utility plants and a most modern canning line with a production capacity of 57,000 cans per hour. The brewery is powered by an 8 megawatt internally generated power station, which runs mainly on gas, cleaner and more environmental friendly.
Over the years, the Nigerian breweries has created over 200,000 jobs in the country. This is attributed to the company's production and local procurement activities.
It is when there's security that they can come and work on roads. It's when there's security, the industries will work. It's when there's security, employment will come. But once there's no security, people use the bad road to run away. They didn't mind about the bad road. People ran away. There was no employment. Those who had employment abandoned employment to save their life.
There's no doubt that the public-private partnership is yielding results, especially in the area of tackling unemployment and engendering corporate social investments.
Well, the printing industry plays a major role in the intellectual development of Nigerians, which ultimately translates to a boost in the economy. Well, this was part of discussions at the 2015 Customers Forum of Academy Press PLC in Lagos. Managing Director of the company, Gbenga Ladipo, also told its clientele that the company has invested over 1.5 billion naira into a facility upgrade that has led to a 60% increase in output. Our correspondent, Chris Lems, reports.
Invited guests are here at the instance of Academy Press PLC, Ilupeju, Lagos, for the 2015 Customers Forum with the theme, Bridging the Gaps in Partnership in a Critical Time of Socio-Economic Challenges, featuring Dr. Olusoji Popola of Igbinedion University as guest speaker.
I do recognize that the book chain has a lot of players and stakeholders, starting from the author and probably ending at the final users.
But before he came on board, the MD Gbenga Ladipo gave an opening remark.
Over the years, we have followed the trend of retooling and modernizing our facilities. Just recently, we have acquired and installed for operation new equipment worth over 1.5 billion naira.
With that said, a tour of the company's production facility begins, led by Paul Aderigbigbe, the Deputy Production Coordinator. It takes us through the various sessions, including the latest acquisition, which has brought about over 60% increase in the output of Academy Press PLC. With the tour completed, the company's chairman as well as the managing director share their thoughts.
We have everything it takes to give you quality job within the stipulated time, not even reasonable, stipulated time, as well as cost-wise. We can assure you, and that you don't need to go out printing outside. We have what it takes to print anything. This company is called Printing House of Excellence, and we continue to go by that word.
On the average, we are able to produce 60 million books in a year. Honestly, that is a huge capacity anywhere in the world.
With the capacity to produce over 60 million books in a year, what Academy Press seems to be saying is, whatever your printing needs, bring it on. Chris Lems, Channels Television News.
It's a positive midweek session at the Nigerian Equities market, our correspondent Temple Ashaju reports that the key broad index now stands at well over 29,000 points after a 0.16% rise.
Hello and welcome to the stock market report. Key indicators of the Nigerian equities market sustained the positive tempo recorded in the previous session as the key broad index ended midweek session 0.16% higher at 29,907.66. The market breadth was positive with 23 gainers against 18 losers. Guinness Nigeria PLC, Forte Oil and Unilever were the top three appreciators for the session. On the flip side, WAPCO, Nigeria Breweries and Flour Mills of Nigeria recorded losses less than ₦1 each. Access Bank, Unilever and Diamond Bank were the top volume drivers for the session. When the closer bell rang, volume came in at 242.76 million units of shares valued at 3.67 billion naira, all exchanged in 3,892 deals. Now that ends the stock market report on Temple Ashaju.
Thank you, Temple. That's it on Business News. On the news at 10, we'll leave you with global markets before Marachi returns with the rest of the news.
First Bank.
The Joint Health Workers Union of Nigeria, JOHESU, is adamant to return to work, and the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital in Benin City appears unable to cope with the situation anymore. For this reason, the management has pleaded with the union to return to work and ensure normalcy returns to the health facility. Meanwhile, the health workers were out on the streets at about the same time protesting alleged the government's insensitivity to their plight, refusing the request to go back to work.
As the industrial action embarked on by the joint health sector unions continues to bite harder, the management of the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital Uselu in Benin City, the Edo State capital, is taking steps to end the 2-month-old strike. At a press conference at the hospital premises, the Chief Medical Director of the facility, Dr. Sunday Olotu, gives an insight into the issues, calling on the union members to drop their hardline stance and return to work.
November salaries they were paid, December salaries they were paid. This is good gestures by government. So government appeal is, it is a disservice to government if JOHESU continues this strike. It is a disservice to the teeming population who need medical interventions. It's a disservice even to themselves on moral grounds. You are receiving pay and you are not working for the pay. So government is appealing through the Minister of Health and the Minister of Labor that JOHESU should reconsider all these things and reconsider the health of the teeming populace and call off the strike.
While the Chief Medical Director was busy interacting with journalists, the unionists were out in the streets, marching in protest, insisting that the way out is for the federal government to do the needful.
The government has no choice. They have to pay because when NMA were on strike, their members were not only paid, they were overpaid. They were overpaid. So that is the precedence on which we are also standing upon. The government has
community that if re-elected governor, the problem of cattle theft and other forms of insecurity will be addressed.
The military are doing a lot of job for them, and they have also rescued a lot of cows. And then we are not resting. We are still doing a lot in order to address the cow rustling issue. And this thing is happening between Ikabi, Birnungwari, Chuku, and then Giwa. And then because of the large forest that we have in that area, the military are doing some operations there. And for the past 6 months, they are there. And then we also have a plan to ensure that we have a mobile barracks in Birnungwari so that it can also address some of these challenges in the future.
Still ahead on the news at 10, former World Footballer of the Year and Portuguese legend Luís Figo joins the race to unseat Sepp Blatter as FIFA president. African Sports News, please join us again.